My confidence is in you. I know the song. Mercy Chinwo is said to have sued her former record label on grounds that I find quite interesting. I believe before you clicked on to watch this video, you might have seen the rumors around. I always come late for a reason because I have to take my time to peel the story like an onion. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is George. We keep it real, facts over sentiment. First of all, I would like to say this. This is quite a bold move, I would say. The monies I'm seeing even mentioned. I asked myself, wait a minute, there's indeed a lot of money in music. I think we need to start making music. How do you see it?
Leave food and touch God. You too like food. You too like food. You too like food.
Everything depends on one's motivation, and that's what we are discussing about today. The music business is quite very interesting, and I took my time to really do an understudy of what the music business itself is. Before you start spiritualizing things in this particular conversation, please don't keep your brains at home when you are going to church. Carry it along with you, because while we are going to be discussing about this, we don't see any of this, would I say, a template of this in scriptures. But we can use scriptural principles to look at their relationship as to how they should resolve it. Okay? But when it comes to the music business, this thing didn't used to happen in the scripture. So we have to look at contemporary situations and what does exist as industry standard to really have an objective opinion on this. So please, whatever camp you belong to, whether you are an EeZee Conceptzian or Missy Chinwo Yan, face the fact. So what are the main issues? Number one, royalties, and number two, catalog. Now we are going to be discussing about the music business on these two grounds, but for us to have a fair understanding for those who are seeing this for the first time, I always give you people benefit of the doubt. I'm going to read what has been posted on the internet with respect to what Mr. Chinwo has done. I'm going to read as well what EeZee Conceptz himself is saying in response to that, even though it involves the EFCC. And then I'll get into the proper discussion about the music business and what I'm seeing that I think is not right in this. If you have the time to listen. If you don't have the time,
okay, bye.
Hello, you're leaving.
Court orders the arrest of Mercy Chinwo's manager over alleged diversion of $345,000. Even that, the way the zeros are perfect, quite interesting. There is no point this, point that. So let me just read that as well to you as I get to react. 345,000 US dollars. You can, I know if they put it in Naira, yeah, people will be like, eh? A federal high court in Lagos on Thursday granted a warrant of arrest against Ezekiel Onyedikachukwu, the manager of gospel singer Mercy Chinwo, the former manager of the gospel singer. Justice Alexander Owoye granted the order following a motion ex parte brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission seeking the arrest of the manager. So this had gotten to the point whereby EFCC was involved. So the EFCC are the one that are, getting that particular order as well from the court to carry out the arrest. In an affidavit in support to the application, the EFCC averred that it received a petition from Chinwo against the manager. So Chinwo is the one that is, working on this on the ground. It's so funny that even Mercy Chinwo has not posted about this herself on her Instagram handle, or what I say, on her social media platform. That is very sneaky. Now you say, George, you are taking sides already.
Come on, don't insult my Costa Rican personality.
The affidavit was deposed to by Mr. Michael Idako, an investigator with the commission. It averred that the gospel singer alleged that the manager was receiving royalties on all her digital platforms and events without disclosure. We are going to talk about royalties here in this conversation. So listen, according to the EFCC, the gospel singer claimed that the manager diverted about $345,000 without remitting her share. Note, the question you should be asking right here is that, is the $345,000 her share, or is $345,000 the earnings that has come from her royalties, but her share has not been given to her? Because when people saw those figures, I was like, wait a minute, is that the total sum or what she has claimed to be her share? Because if she's claiming that to be her share, that means it's going to be double of that, because EeZee Conceptz, of course, got to reply on this particular post, which we are going to look at. Moving on as well here, it said that the effort to arrest the manager failed, necessitating the application for a warrant warrant of arrest. The court adjourned the case until January 24th for arraignment of the manager. This is the first news that broke on the internet. Now, Mercy Chinwo herself has not really spoken about it, which I think is quite interesting. And it will look as if, wait, is this happening by proxy? Is someone the one that is using her name to do it? Hey, let's remember that now she's married, and just like Judy K is also involved in this. Quite interesting, I would say. Their husband, Judy K's husband, is a pastor. Mercy Chinwo's husband, at least are active in ministry. Are they having a voice now, or are they being very forward, if I'm to use that word, now that they are in their respective, marital homes and really want to make sure that one day, I know this thing, make we focus on this thing? Because I'm wondering why even Minister GUC is not caught up in this kind of menace, like we are seeing our wonderful ladies. People think I have an issue with women. No, I don't. Please calm down, because you will get to why I'm saying the things I'm saying. So this is the first information that came out, and I was just wondering to myself, George, like you normally do, relax. Let's see what other parties will say before we, because if I started by talking about this and don't give an opportunity for there to be a rebuttal, I might be having a misconception of what I'm saying. But this is something that is factual. So Mercy Chinwo is the one that is suing her own boss. Now, let's look at something really interesting here. Let's take us back a year before now.
Let's have it.
Now, she coming back into the music scene after she was away for a while. She came out with a song called My Confidence, or Confidence is in You. My confidence is in you. I know the song. And if you watch the song as well, go and look at the comments, because some of you are very staunch hypocrites. What I'm saying right now, you start misinterpreting it. Go and look at the comments. People really understood that particular video to be what I'm going to be interpreting right now. But for me, I had to look at it in a different lens, because it begins to make sense what might have been the issue that led to her leaving the record label, which we are going to really understand the record label business as we get to go on. Actually, we are going to be watching this video which EeZee Conceptz had posted, and we are going to look at it as well together, and also this particular video. Just for those of you who want to stop watching now, please, you can stop and go, because my videos are long, because I like to go to details. I don't have to make 10 videos because I want to discuss one thing. Am I mad? One video is enough when we have anything to talk about. So let's look at this particular concept of what happened a year ago. You see, when I was watching that video of Mercy Chinwo's song Confidence, first of all, when you were in the Nigerian Idol, probably where you were discovered, I would say, back in 2012, where she won the Nigerian Idol, I'm believing so.
If you see this papa, let them say, I go chocolate money, chocolate money, chocolate money, 'cause I don't care.
And looking at the video as well, you got to be given a contract that actually reads thus according to what you were portraying in the video. Let me just read the still image I took as well from that particular music video, which was the story she was trying to tell, and let's look at it together. So the first still image I took as well here was that so this is the first still image, and it says here, all the songs, I don't know why that particular part was made bold compared to the other things that were written in the paper. All the songs created by Mercy Chinwo are under her exclusive ownership and control, meaning that she holds the rights to exploit, distribute, and monetize them in any way she deems fit. This includes any future works of art that she may create, as they will also fall under her creative and financial control. The concept of exclusive rights is a fundamental aspect of intellectual property law, which allows artists and creators to protect their original works and reap the benefits of their labor. Who gives this kind of contract to an artist and you are signing to a record label? This right here I found quite interesting, because the idea was that she was giving the notion to those who are watching that she was presented with a contract that she saw, and while she was talking at the office and she looked away, the person that was presenting her the contract, which should actually be EeZee Conceptz himself, changed the contract and gave her something else to sign. That means what she read is not what she signed in the end. But I want to ask you a question. When you get a contract and you sign at the end, whether that happened or not, you were not there. You watching now. I was not there. We are giving an objective opinion. Don't you still take that contract home to go and maybe review it or something? Now I began to think, because you took it home. It's not as if you sign something and you give it to the person. The person keeps a copy, you keep a copy. Right? So in the same music video, upon her discovery, this is what she now found that she was holding. Upon signing this legal binding contract, Mrs. Chinwo has effectively surrendered all her rights, ownership, and control over her songs to other party involved in the agreement. This implies that she can no longer exercise any form of creative or financial control over the works of art that she has created or will create in the future, as the other party will now have exclusive rights to exploit, distribute, and monetize the songs in any way they deem fit. And you ask me, George, why am I reading this? Because this is our own facts. Please, I'm not coming hard on Mr. CHINWO. Calm down, because some of you, type of don't mind me, okay? I can be funny sometimes. Do you know what motivated this? She actually showed what motivated this whole her story of rediscovering what was in the document that she signed. And this was the motivation. Gospel singer Mr. CHINWO achieves impressive 500,000 sales on day one of release. When I looked at this, I smiled. What is motivating this lawsuit right now? Money. What made you realize that, wait, make I go check that contract again? If I say sales, money. Did you even think about these things when you were signing the contract? Oh, no. According to her story, what she saw before she signed the contract was that she owns all the rights and everything that with regards to her song. All the go now what our music business. Now, let me tell you something about EeZee Conceptz. He really looks up to, or would I say has great respect for persons like Don Jazzy. Now, I know Christians are already, anyway, depending on where you, those who are watching this will be from people from different angles. So if you are watching me for the first time, however you see Don Jazzy, that's not my business, okay? When we are talking about business right now, the music business, one person you would know that actually is very influential in that aspect is someone like Don Jazzy, and he looks up to him and respects him, of course, a lot. Things like this will happen in the music business, but you see one thing for a fact, which we are now going into looking at the music business proper, what happens on the normal. There's a reason why I kept quiet about the whole Sinach situation that came out recently between her and one of the producers of her song, which we are going to look at maybe much later. Sometimes I see these things, I just keep quiet because you have to understand some things. Remember, I said two things that are the issues in this conversation. One is royalties, two is catalog. Now, let me explain something as well here about royalties and catalog. When it comes to the music business, if you are in the music business, of course, you can use the comment section to really expatiate more on this, because I learned before I make my videos. I don't just open my mouth and wow. One primary way that music labels get to make their money is from the music catalog that they get to build over time as they get to work with artists. Once you sign to a record label, anywhere in this world, listen, because some of you are spiritual, you don't listen. The record label, they own the masters of the song. I mean the song itself. Before a song is actually made, we have the publishing, and then we have the actual record itself, the audio, the sound itself, which is the masters. These are two copyrights that come with the music or a song. Now, the artist as well always gets to own the publishing as well, except the contract that she signed gave that she also is giving the publishing to the record label. Then that's a different thing entirely. But most time as well, the artist as well owns the publishing. This publishing as well is looking at the composition of the song, the lyrics as well, the licensing of the song to be used in maybe TV shows or music or like in movies or something. Then we have the masters of a song. The masters of a song, which makes up the catalog, always belongs to the record label once you sign to a record label. That's why there are many people that are independent artists who actually own their own songs and their own masters. Was it last 2 years that Dr. Dre and then Justin Bieber sold their publishing and part of their catalog they had control over? Only that for over 200 million each. That's a lot of money, but indeed as well, catalog is just like saying real estate. It's a little bit more stable. That is where the music labels themselves really get to have a stake, or what I say, make money. So anyone that goes into signing with a music label or a record label and you think you own your catalog, then we have to see those kind of contracts that exist, because it does not exist. It really does exist, except you are the one that is the record label and as well the artist. Why do you think that if you look at the secular genre, like Davido himself is like he's a record label himself and then he's also the artist? Why he controls like more money compared to other people? Come on, Burna Boy recently as well was trying to also buy back some of his older catalog as well from the music label he was part of. Do you understand? So Because what I'm saying right now forms a foundation for you to understand the reply of EeZee Conceptz on this particular issue. So what do record labels themselves do? One main job that record labels themselves do for an artist is, number one, the distribution of their music. Now you can do this, of course, independently as an artist. If you record a song as well, you can distribute yourself if you want to. Now, while record labels do not actually put on that commitment to promotion, good record labels as well, when they get to sign you, number one thing that they have to do is force you to build your own audience and your own persona. Now there's someone else that has been signed, or would I say is working now with EeZee Conceptz. That girl, she's really doing amazingly well. Her voice is pretty much amazing. So I see her posted a lot by EeZee Conceptz, and she's right now more like the main project that he is focusing on, because she was more like a product of their recent talent hunt that they had. Was it last year? I talked about it as well, quite on the low on that as well. And that is how music, would I say, record labels actually get to make their money. They pick an artist, or would I say discover a talent as well, then build them. Now look at what is happening, for example, with this new lady girl that he's working with. From music recording to music videos, all of these are investments you put into the artist to now make them, for them to become who they are in their career or something. Do you understand? But indeed, all of those investments is towards the product that comes from it, which would be the songs, the catalog. That's why it's hard for you to find a record label that gives you ownership of your masters, except the person is really good. Like I heard that Olamide gave Asake his masters before leaving the record label. Now I don't even know if he has left. So I think this particular conversation should not concern my spiritual Christians. Maybe we'll talk about that the other way when I look at some other things. A good record label as well is supposed to, they look at ways to also build a team around your person, whereby you have your own team. That's why you could see, let's say, Don Jazzy himself being like the record label boss, but you see that every artist as well would have probably their manager, road manager, promotional manager, social media manager, and all of that, whereby there's that sense of independence as well of yourself while you are in the record label, but trying to see ways to make things easier for you to be productive. So that is me just giving you that rough idea about how record label works. But if you forget anything of the jamborees I'm saying right here, because probably you are not interested, you have to understand one thing. When it comes to what comes out of a relationship between the artist and the record label, one thing is the catalog of the masters of the songs that they get to make, and the other one, of course, is the publishing. So when we talk about publishing, that's when we now talk about things like the split sheet as to contributors, all of that. Those ones also have their percentages as well, different from you looking at the actual song, which always belongs to the record label. Now note that the songs themselves would always earn royalties, because the record label is in charge of the distribution of the songs. So when you're assigned to a record label are the ones that handle the distribution and everything. So Mr. CHINWO didn't start like an independent artist. She was signed to EeZee Conceptz. So when it comes to her song, that's why if you even look at EeZee Conceptz website, her profile is still there. So her profile still does exist as well as a product of EeZee Conceptz, because she is a product that they quote and unquote made. No wonder this particular picture, of course, that you see in the video, whereby when she was walking out of the office of the person that is probably said to be acting like EeZee Conceptz himself, the man says, "I made you who you are." Whether you like it or not as well, every record label believes in their mind that they get to make you who you are, depending on some factors. You see, when you get into a record label as an artist, first of all, if nobody knows you, that's a lot of work as well to get to build you up to that point of you becoming relevant, becoming known, becoming, yes, of course, the talent is you. But in the end, the record label as well gets to put you up some way, somehow as well into that limelight or something. If not, if you could do it alone, why are you going to a record label? Why are you signing with a record label? Do you understand? But again as well, where the record label as well gets to help you a lot is when they get to help you. A good record label will help you build a community, a strong core around your person, that even if you get to leave them tomorrow or something, you can still stand on your own and function. Look at Mr. CHINWO, of course. She is Mr. CHINWO, like most of you love her today because you are in her community, you love her songs, you love her music and all that. But again, understand her motivation. Her motivation to having an issue with her record label at first was because I sold 500,000. Let me go and check my contract. Is all the money coming to me why do the record label itself exist then if you are asking that question? Because I don't understand. And I do understand the fact that sometimes when new artists are coming into the scene as well, they don't even take time to read their contract as well. They just want to enter and then getting that opportunity as well to be in that particular scene is just that enabling hand they just need to just make person help me. Just like the whole Asake and Olamide thing that has been rumored. Even Asake himself said that he didn't even want to read, just signed the thing and then gave it to him. Oh, let's start. But of course, as you keep going and now start saying, okay, because in the end, every record label as well, they're taking a risk on you. It's not every artist you get to sign into your record label that will blow. It's not every artist you get to sign that is going to be, some of them are not going to be a worthy investment. Some of them are going to be a bad investment. But again, you have to take that risk as well to just see that, okay, maybe I see a potential in this person. And you see one thing as well is that the Christian community, there's a huge Christian community, of course, especially in Africa, in Nigeria. So of course, there's that sense of marketability, of course, of your song. But again, you have to look at the core motivation of what is happening right here. It is money. Let's not even start talking about the scriptures and should they be in court? Should you allow yourself to be cheated? And all of that. Let's not even go there. Now let's look at the reply of EeZee Conceptz on this. And that is why I found the whole thing to be interesting. Because even in this one as well here, I wouldn't say I side EeZee Conceptz. I don't side any of them. I'm just looking at it objectively. If you think I'm speaking wrong, use the comment section. But make sure you actually do your research as well with respect to how music business works. Because if you never understand the business, you'll just be talking out of sentiment. Now, we don't know the contract that she signed, okay? But again, as well here, we have to make sure we face the facts. So let's read what the man himself had to say about the situation. Okay, let's go back. So he starts by saying $625,000. That is how much you have received from EeZee Conceptz till date. That is a lot of money. Trust me. But you would prefer to insulate that part so as to keep deceiving people and whipping sentiment on how you signed a bad contract or had been treated bad. Same deal, you desperately pursued me for years and had to get third parties to impress on EeZee Conceptz to sign you. The video of my confidence didn't show that she was actually the one chasing for a contract to sign or chasing for a deal. Like, seriously speaking, was that portrayed? That is what EeZee Conceptz is saying right here. Despite offering a 50-50 gross earnings ratio, you are still trying to weaponize law enforcement and religious organizations, all in the bid to take over a catalog you did not spend 1 naira on. Do you now see the situation? Her goal is to see the catalog is where the business is. Whether the artist decide to change and then say, okay, I don't want to do music again, I want to go and do this, I want to become doctor, I want to become waiter, I want to become chef, I want to just go into desert. Okay, hallelujah, you can go in peace. See that catalog? That's where the record label themselves get to make their money, because that is their product. See, in this life, it's either you are selling a product or you are selling a service. Whether you like it or not. See, me, I'm always very transparent too. This video you are watching right now is a product that I'm giving to, just that you are not buying anything from me. You don't pay me a dime. The platform as well here pays me for the product I am presenting, my analysis, my ideas of what I think of what is going on. So they pay me for your attention, not you. You can decide to watch me or not. I'm trying to break these things down for you. Where a record label as well gets to make their money is in the catalog. The masters, they own the masters, because that is their. If she signed that, is it that she doesn't know where even she now that is probably independent or with the GNT records, of course, as she is, maybe now she's independent and does distribution herself or just works with distributors, but she owns a catalog. Do you understand? Like, she owns the catalog of her music and also probably the publishing. Certainly. But when it comes to the distribution deals as well here, she could have, deal for a period of time and to distribute her music and still make her money or something, even without quote and unquote being a record label herself. Or maybe she's in another record label. Either ways. And sometimes the catalog. So we are not looking at the royalties. He stated that he's given her $625,000 as well when it comes to royalties. But again as well, he's now talking about the fact that he's looking at the catalog and the royalty split is based on 50-50%. Now, there's a place I have an issue with EeZee T as well. We are going to go there. Some of you are thinking, oh, George, you are bashing Messi CHINWO. No, I'm not bashing her. I just have to be very factual. Going on as well here, you have received $625,000 to date. Still, this situation persists. While claiming and singing it's all for Jesus, your actions paint a different picture. Is it really all about Jesus? What we are talking about now, my friends? Iha Abubakar Jesus, Biko. Gwa onwe gị eziokwu. Ife anyị na-akpa kịta ọ maka Chukwu? Ọkwa maka ego ka anyị na-akpa kịta o. Ego maka onye nke a feel o cheated m, all my strength, all my sweat. Later I'm going to revisit the story of that producer who came out and said he was cheated by EeZee Conceptz as well. We'll talk about that one because this thing is, if you agreement is agreement, yeah. Agreement is agreement, yeah. You don't reach it for settlement. You can't dey tell me nonsense. Agreement is agreement, yo. The man that sang that song, Ofurechi. Yotago, let's go on, my dear friend. Okay, you started as a backup singer in the studio and on the stage. Unlike some music talent producers and label executives, it is not something I stumbled into by marriage or association. It's disheartening to see lies being spread and efforts to weaponize law enforcement and religious affiliations against me. That is where, you see, that is where this is one thing. When I was talking about the industry, the ministry of music and the industry in it, once money is involved, you are talking about an industry right here. I was telling you people this thing last time. I tell you that this ministry is an industry. People will say, oh, you look at the amount they're calling. Some of you, I don't know if you have seen this kind of money in your life before. Okay, I have not seen it before. Thank you very much. You can call me poor man. It doesn't mean that I have seen in my life. Because poor pastors say that I'm not a poor man. I know that one. Hallelujah. But you have to know that God in this thing. Oh. So when you see that producer dragging what is her name again, Senach, we'll talk about that one later. Everybody, Konima die, Konima kill her. That's the problem. I'm not saying anybody's dying. Because the way I'm looking at this right now, he's just trying to look at, to also present a fair argument on that. I invested my blood, my sweat, and hard-earned money into you. I housed you for months before securing 2-bedroom apartments for both you and your band leader. Investment too. You need now to invest because the artist has to feel good. Greed is a foundational issue I'm seeing in this whole conversation. Greed, either from EeZee Conceptz or from CHINWO herself. I'm not even trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to because I have experience. Godliness with contentment. Aye, it's great. It's great gain. Someone say that to yourself. Say that to yourself. Let's go on. Moving on as well right here. I invested my blood and my sweat and had earned money into you. I housed you for months before securing 2-bedroom apartments for both you and your band leader. What I wanted to talk about as well was actually the religious affiliations. Because Mr. CHINWO, as a gospel music artist, we like to brandish it gospel music because they sing gospel lyrics. Hallelujah. As a gospel music artist, your relevance is tied to the Christian community's acceptance of your song, the pastor's love of your person, giving you the platform for you to sing on their pulpits and invited for programs here and there. Because as you are invited here and there and you are singing, those who are going to be listening to your songs are those in the audience. Just like how you see the secular artists as well, people who listen to their songs are the ones that attend their concerts and all that. And depending on how you're popping, pastors or churches as well would invite the ones that are popping because you become part of what brings the numbers or something. But behind that whole glamour you are experiencing as a music artist is a record label that stands by you behind doing the soft work behind the scenes. Distribution, promotion, and all of that to make sure that you are getting into the ears of people who now see you as someone that is really, really relevant and inspiring, of course, to be invited, or would I say, to be looked up upon as a gospel artist. But behind all of us, well, here are where the record labels come in and then do. Some of you, I always see your comments under these record labels. I beg, oh, God, sign me. Oh, God, sign me. Oh, I've been singing this. Please check out my page. As they can't sign you, you don't see small change. Hey. Akokowa. I'm not saying this as well to bash Mr. CHINWO. I'm saying this to some of you that are also aspiring. Please, any music artist as well can tell me in the comments if you signed a deal whereby you own the catalog and masters of your song. If you signed a deal of such with the record label, I would like to know this record label. I need to give them accolades because it's very rare to find. Trust me. Let's go on as well here. You breached your contract by failing to deliver a third album and withholding funds meant for the label from content and events. So there's even a breach of contract there. Do you know that when Wizkid left EeZee, do you think that Wizkid owns a catalog of the song that he made with EeZee? Even he said that he left with nothing, 0 naira. He said it himself. But again, He's still in good relationship as well with Banky W. They could still work together. Do you even see him normally perform those songs a lot as well? Like the songs that he had like back in the day. He still gets to perform it as well, at least sometimes. Someone will say, Georgia, why are you mixing it up? Do you know who you know the people I'm mentioning now? How do you know Whiskey? How do you know the rest of them? I'm discussing this as well here as business. That's why I'm not trying to be spiritual here, because it's facts over sentiment. Moving on as well right here. When this happened, I didn't attack you. Instead, I reached out proposing a reconciliation meeting and even suggesting an independent audit for transparency. So when that particular situation happened that she was leaving, because when you sign a contract most time as well, you sign the amount of albums you are supposed to produce as well, the amount of songs or something, because while you are signing, sometimes you are being given some monies as well by the record label. Like the record label take care of you basically. Do you understand? Because you are their product, you are their investment. If in the end, think about it, you are in a record label, you make your music, everything, you own everything. What is the record label for? Just for name, signboard. What do they exist for? How do they make their money? That's why if you can do it as an independent artist, please do it yourself. Look at some people that Portable who pass them will be saying their record label. Why they use Portable do example? I should be using, forgive me if you are already angry that I'm using, but these people are people you know, so I have to talk about things that you relate with. He now goes on to say, last year I was illegally detained by EFCC for 9 days far from Lagos, where our business took place. Under duress, 274,000 was extorted. Wow, EFCC were able to cap this money out of you, yet I still didn't resort to dragging you publicly. As a law-abiding citizen, I chose to follow the legal process outlined in the contract you signed with EeZee Conceptz. For him to have allowed that money to leave him without coming to make a public fuss about it is either say money wey if they owe him big past that, or he really doesn't want to have a squabbles with any of his artists or his former artists, or he knows that either ways I still have my investment, the catalog. If this is just what is going to clear my head or clear my name from these people, let me just do it and then have my peace. Because how would they be, or it could also be that EFCC had discovered that that there's a lot of money that might be questionable as well with respect to what Mercy Chinwo has really earned from either the distribution or something that she's supposed to have gotten as her royalties. Because for EFCC to do their job correctly or whatever, they have to see what is the total amount of money that he has earned from her royalties, and then has he given her the percentage that is due to her. That's it, looking at the royalties. If he has not given her all of it, then the EFCC can probably enforce the aspect of him remitting the part that he's supposed to remit to her that he has not remitted. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so that 340 something thousand as well, is that the part that he's supposed to remit to her, or the lump sum that has been earned that she has noticed, quote and unquote, that is supposed to be divided into two again and given part as well to her based on the 50-50 agreement? But even 50-50 is too good. Seriously, I would say. Let's go on. If your hands are clean, why avoid the multi-door resolution process in our agreement? Why manipulate institutions to bully me? You deny the contract when it speaks of your obligations and our benefits, but quote it when it benefits you, discrediting same document that you have hugely benefited from. Kindly post your back statement and songs recorded 3 years before you were signed and 3 years after you got signed. Makes sense? So it's just for him to see what his influence and persona in her music journey has as an effect compared to what she was before he met her. You are now attempting to claim ownership of a catalog I fully funded, a body of work you never contributed financially to. For years, you have received both quarterly royalties and immediate remittances from the 50-50 agreement. But this greed, I don't even know, but this greed and betrayal that persists are beyond comprehension. Let me remind you, I founded a label that built your platform. Remember what I was saying? What a good label has to do is make sure that they also help you build a community on your own, because they know that for you to be thriving in the record label, you need a force, you need a community, you need a gang. And gang is a bad word to use, I would say. Like how we have like Mazi Tunde fans. You see how Tunde was doing birthday? And every corner. I was even looking for my area. Where are they doing Tunde's birthday? Don't mind me, okay? Me, I like to eat, so let me go eat this here and copy. But that just by the way. But you get the point of what I'm saying here. So every good record label is not supposed to just cage you, but be able to help, because when you build that community and fan base, those are your listeners. So far as the listeners are listening, you are making the money as a record label. So it's win-win. But for them to have a 50-50 split, that is too good, I would say. Abasimbok, okay, going on as well right here. Let me remind you, okay, he now went on to say here, though through God's grace I did this, and no one can erase the role EeZee Conceptz played in building your influence. I'll continue to act lawfully, trusting the legal system and God to defend my peace and reputation. Proverbs 17 verse 13 says, never depart from whoever repays good with evil, evil will never depart from their house. I appreciate the outpouring of prayers, support, and love. May truth and justice prevail. Number 1. This video has been up to almost 1 hour. I think I can stop here. No, let me continue. Some of my audience are listening. Let's go on as well here to the report that was given by Mercy Chinwo's spiritual father. Mama, how they call spiritual father can get by, because I've seen videos of both of them as well together and all of that. So her spiritual father, an apostle, came out and then gave his own suggestion, or would I gave his own report as to what happened and how he was in the resolution stage of this whole situation. You see, we hear from this side, you hear from this side, not just hear one side. What he says as well reveals another side of EeZee Conceptz that I didn't know about, because he is speaking as a father. He all passed 2 of them. So for him to be there and witnessing this, that was quite interesting. So let's listen to him. If you are watching at this point, please type in the comment, let love lead. Person go say TV Joshua for comment. No be him make me talk this thing while I talk now. I just say let love lead. So this is what the clergy says. The clergy says here, my intervention in the Mercy Chinwo, Judy K, and Ezekiel Tangled EeZee matter. He says here, as believers, it is crucial that we handle every situation with humility, fairness, and reverence for God. In light of recent developments, I feel compelled to clarify my role as a mediator in the ongoing disputes involving Ezekiel Tangled, EeZee, Mercy Chinwo, and Judy K. You see, I never even Judy K. I don't want to talk about you today. Clearly, okay, I just want to focus on Mama. My aim is to provide an accurate account of the efforts made to achieve an amicable resolution. The first attempt to reconciliation was in 2022. That means even before she left, there was issues then. 2022. Let's go on. In 2022, I became aware of an ongoing dispute between Mercy Chinwo and Ezekiel Tangled. Determined to foster peace, I invited both parties to my home for a reconciliation meeting. Esteemed gospel minister Choma Jesus was also present, and her presence to lend her support. During the meeting, we addressed several grievances and resolved many issues. However, one critical matter remained unresolved: allegations of revenue diversion. To ensure fairness, I propose engaging an independent auditor to review the financial records. The proposal was accepted by the parties, and we agreed to reconvene in my office in February 17th, 2023. Now, EeZee Conceptz, of course, talked about, despite his goal, despite offering that there should be an independent audit or something, but that is what this clergyman, of course, is talking about, Apostle Anselm. Moving on as well here, the second meeting and initial audit efforts. At the appointed time, the independent auditing firm, Olatunji, Fanny Fossey and Co., was present alongside key stakeholders, including Mercy Chinwo, Ezekiel Tangled, Pastor Temple Odoko, Ezekiel's pastor, pastors are involved in this, and Ape Harrison. It was collectively agreed that all relevant documents would be provided to the auditors to ensure transparency and accountability. So the person that is supposed to provide this document would be EeZee, because Mercy Chinwo herself doesn't know. All she knows is that they have to just give her this amount, except if there's a way she can just sit down somewhere and look at what is coming in. But again, the record label are the one that decide, what's up. So if they are transparent with you, they will tell you, okay, come and look, this is what we have earned this quarter, this is yours, you take. So maybe she was just receiving money, but she felt that maybe this money is not looking at the amount I've sold. If I do cross and minus, let me check. Sent Akonuche. Yeah. My confidence is in you, is in you. Sometimes you can have confidence in your brain, sometimes you can have confidence in God. Either ways, our confidence should always be in God. Hallelujah. I can be sarcastic sometimes. Don't take me too serious. Calm down, calm down. Let's go on as well here. Unfortunately, Ezekiel abandoned the process shortly after the meeting, despite my persistent effort to reach him. He avoided my calls and messages. Furthermore, he withheld Macy's royalties for 2 years, compounding the dispute. EeZee, why would EeZee withhold the royalties? Because he came and started by saying that he had given her this. Quoting that amount was intentional because, him quoting that 600 and something thousand was intentional because he wants to just make the public know that see money which you don't collect from my hand or where I don't give her more. That means the money was even supposed to be more than that if what she is alleging is true, that there has been diversions. Because for him to run away from the independent audit and indeed withholding royalties. Now, note that EeZee Conceptz said that he had given her this amount till date. He didn't say the last time he gave her money. Sure, you know, because some of you're already typing when I was talking about that one. He didn't say the last time that he gave her. He said, I've given you this amount till date. When was the last time you gave her money? This is gonna call sometimes. Some of you know how you be when I was doing NYS, you'd be waiting for a lot. If the alert does not come on that date, wahala everywhere. So what do you think? So it would be justified that Mercy Chinwo herself would be taking a step. Maybe she's supposed to receive money at this time, but the money is not coming. So what is happening with my money? Are you getting the point now? Because that is it. For 2 years, you withhold her royalties. Why would you withhold Mercy Chinwo's royalties? You have to pay. Maybe that is why she has escalated the situation, because it shouldn't be so. But let's go on as well here. Renewed efforts in 2024. By 2024, the unresolved matter had escalated to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Ezekiel, realizing the gravity of the situation, approached me once again, pleading for my intervention. He admitted his previous mistakes and requested that Mercy and Judy K withdraw their cases from the EFCC to allow me to mediate. Okay, so now, tag team. Now, note that even though Judy K has been mentioned here, this is 2024. I think he must have seen signs. I feel the way this Mercy Chinwo and this Judy K, they are moving, the way they are moving, something will happen. So he had to do recording. We are going to play the recording so that we will listen. Yeah, EeZee with a sense. EeZee, too much sense will worry you. Because had it been he had gone according to their own mediation, we will not be talking about EFCC today. But if you want to read Bible, you are supposed to allow yourself to be cheated. Sure, you know now. I like to be a happy soul. I don't like to come in here and look as if I am angry with anybody or something. Let's go on as well here, okay? So he went on to say here, in good faith, I convened another meeting involving Pastor Blessed, Mercy's husband. You know, Judy K, honorable pastor. Mercy Chinwo, honorable pastor. This is church something where Akwasi not touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You people now, you can touch EeZee Conceptz because he's not prophet, he's not pastor, he's not this. So everybody's touching him. But as pastor, you, the husbands of these our wonderful artists that have been singing and blessing the world, how are you being pastor in this situation? What kind of me as I'm talking now like this, as I am talking, one charlatan is I am in court with him since January. But I will not come here, you see. Me, because I understand my Bible. I will not come here and come and say, oh, I'm doing this. Even for the sake of that, I will not even come here because it's even a shame. It's a shame that you are lying. You are lying in the what you are seeing me for. Lies. I read the count. I was saying, see, this one a lie. This one a lie. This one a lie. But I just say, the day I'm going to talk about it, because I have to also respect the legal system and just watch and see how things are going. It's taking a toll on me. Money is coming from me like this. They pay me yo gaga. But would I come here and because I know I am hated to a great extent. So I don't have to come and throw sentiment here. I have to still, because it's a distraction for me. I have many things I know I have planned to do. So talking about the human being is a very big distraction for me, I would say. It does not even matter. It's not even important. So whatever is happening in the court is just happening over there. I will see how it goes. And by God's grace, what will happen will happen. But in the end, I'll give, at least for those who are my channel members, I'll tell you people the full story from beginning to the end. So you understand. the whole public as well. Everybody go mezemez. Everybody will be fine. But I'm just telling you that what me. So if Messi CHINWO is suing him, EeZee, I'm not surprised if a whole pastor can sue me because of my analysis. Yeah. What else? So for me, I'm going through a lot. But would I have to come here and start crying and say, oh my God, oh my this? No. We've grown past that. One with God is majority. One with God is majority. Anytime. Do you understand? Let's go on. In good faith, I convened another meeting involving Pastor Blaise Mechi CHINWO's husband, Pastor Anselm Judike's husband, and Ezekiel's legal representative and other key stakeholders. During this meeting, Ezekiel agreed to grant Mercy and Judike the right to an independent audit. The responsibility for this audit was entrusted to Pearson's Consulting Limited. So we are going to look at, of course, where we saw the document of the audit. What am I saying we saw? Some of you might have been watching, seeing what is happening in the blogs, okay? And then someone said in my previous video that I talk too much. If I was playing a video and this was the man himself talking, I will still pause and talk. You see, the same thing I'm doing here. I'm reading and I'm reacting. That is analysis. The reason why I don't talk about things when they're hot is because I believe everybody must have seen that particular story. So that when I'm talking about it as well, I'm not reporting to you, I'm analyzing. Initially, Ezekiel cooperated with the process. However, I later received reports from Pastor Anselm that Ezekiel had begun obstructing the audit by refusing to provide critical documents requested by the auditors. When I personally reached out to Ezekiel, I urged him to comply. Sadly, that was the last time I was involved. As the process stalled due to Ezekiel's non-compliance, I was later informed that the audit outcome was devastating. That means even with the small audit we didn't do serve, they were discovering things. So maybe your guy was like, you guys are digging too much. Now you see, that is where the concept of trust comes in. It is possible that maybe, let me give an example, maybe the royalties or the income that came in was like $100. So maybe based on royalties split, okay, 50-50. But he will say, okay, it will give you $40. But you as the artist as well that trusts your record label, you just have to act based on trust that whatever I'm receiving is what I'm supposed is what is due to me. I trust him. Just like some of you as well here. We have been here discussing some of the non-far that some of your pastors will teach. You trust whatever he said on that pulpit until you come here and look at the fact without sentiment. You say, oh, it's even you that will be looking for way to try to explain that thing your pastor is teaching to make sense to you, even when you have seen clearly from scriptures that it's not supposed to be so. That's where the trust comes in. So I trust you to be able to deliver your aspect of our contract or agreement, okay? Being that I am also fulfilling my own part of the agreement. So what should really matter to me is that I'm doing my own part. You not doing your own part as well means you are breaking the breach of agreement for sure. But if I trust you with church mind, you understand? I should just accept whatever it is. It's not as if you are not paying me any money. You are paying me, just that you are the one that is not being honest. So you are the one sinning. I am not the one sinning. You are the one being out of order. I am the one being in order because I'm fulfilling my own part of the covenant. Do you understand? God is always faithful no matter what. But most of the time as well, by our actions and by our sinful acts, we have always fallen short. But yet still, his love for us remains unending. Moving on as well right here, setting the record straight, he says, this statement is not intended to take sides, but to clarify the facts. There is no dispute regarding 50-50 revenue sharing agreement between the parties. So he's saying that there is no dispute regarding the 50-50 sharing revenue. What is the dispute? The core issue lies in Ezekiel's refusal to make the records of his 50% share belonging to them available for audit, despite multiple opportunities to do so. Now it makes sense. Are you getting the point right now? And that's what I was saying as well before I got to this point. Because if it is 50-50, we should be able to see from the records that, okay, this is what was earned, and this is the 50% you have given to her. If the 50% you have given to her is not exactly what you're supposed to give to her according to the records, that means you have to give her some more. Shorty, yeah. Is it making sense? Do you understand? You see, that's why when I was starting this conversation, it was looking as if I was giving Messi CHINWO woto, because I'm reacting as I'm not trying to preempt. Do you understand? Because if I give you a conclusive idea, some of you will lose interest. before you even got to this point. But you now get as well from this particular document, it begins to make sense that the issue here is that they really want to know how much really came in. Okay, then this 50% I have received or have been receiving, is it really the 50% I'm supposed to receive? If he has not paid royalties for over 2 years, that means you are talking about another money. But even the one that you have received, at the time that she had received those particular ones, was it really 50% that she received? That is where the issue is. Let's go on. All efforts to mediate and resolve this matter peacefully were hindered by Ezekiel's actions. As a father, my role has always been to encourage understanding, fairness, reconciliation. However, resolution is only possible when all parties are willing to cooperate. Exactly. Appeal for resolution, he says. It remains my sincere hope and prayer that this matter can still be resolved in the spirit of love, humility, and faith. That's wonderful, Pastor. As children of God, we are called to seek peace and uphold integrity in our dealings. May wisdom prevail, and may this situation serve as a reminder of importance of transparency, accountability, and mutual respect in all relationships. Apostle Anselm Madubuko, Apostle Anselm Madubuko, sir, meeting you for the first time. You have spoken well in your final conclusion. Accountability, all the very important. Very important. Now we have gotten some Jews in the case. Now, remember what he said here, that the main issue is not the 50-50. Because we are going to look at a friend to our dear friend here, EeZee, who actually gave a different ideology, of course, of what happened at the meeting, which is talking about the catalog, because Apostle didn't talk about the catalog conversation. EeZee is focusing on the catalog, not even the money. That's why you see he's smart. EeZee is very smart. He just said you have received this amount of money up to now. Do you understand? He's not talking about if the 50-50, if he pay everything where he's supposed to pay. Now the way EFCC matter dey inside now. Make you see whether he pay everything where he's supposed to pay. But to involve EFCC matter, now that one where I don't understand if this is part of EFCC's jurisdiction when it comes to their own work. I think say EFCC is just catch is he a Yahoo boy? Okay, it's a financial crime. It's true. It's a financial crime. Yeah, it's a financial crime. So it makes sense. I was just thinking about it now. Let's listen to this, Oga. So how are you? I like your baby. It's nice. You even wear glasses like me. Fine man. Lagos, center of excellence. Hey, like I listen, Do you want to listen? So let's listen to what you say as witness. Please speak to us, sir.
Hi, my name is Ifeoma. I participated directly in the mediation meeting of May 13, 2024 between EeZee Conceptz, representatives of CHINWO and Judy K.
May, lights come.
A few days prior, I'd been invited by a lawyer friend of mine who wanted me to provide context, industry insights concerning the disputes. And in all honesty, the conversation was around the transfer of master rights. I'm not privy to the prior events, but what I was told was that a certain gentleman had been arrested and they're negotiating the terms of a resolution. And one of the terms that he was kicking against was the transfer of the master rights from the label to the artist based on whatever disagreements they were having. So I attended that meeting at the residence of the Reverend gentleman, and there was also representatives of both artists. There was a lawyer that I found out eventually was EeZee's lawyer, and there was also Hilda Dokubo, in that meeting. And my position as an industry expert was basically simple. The issues can be resolved, they will be resolved through whatever process that all the parties agreed. As far as the master rights was concerned, I shared my thoughts to everybody sitting there that the master rights traditionally reside, with the record label. And I've not heard anything or seen anything in the Costa conversation that should compel the label to give up, control of the rights to the artist. And however, if the artist insists, if they want, the rights, what they ought to do is to make an offer, do a valuation, exercise, establish the value of the catalog, and offer some kind of payment to the label that would have to consider that and determine whether they want to transfer, whether they want to sell or not. So it's really a matter of saying, okay, I want to buy the rights. How much are you going to sell it to me? From what I know, that is basically the standard practice. I reference the fact that at that particular time, Burna Boy and Spaceship, Entertainment, were in a conversation that made a bid to buy the rights, the master rights to it's recordings that were put out under Aristocrats, around 2013, 2014, 2015-ish. And for me, that was the standard practice. People buy back their master rights if the labels are willing to sell. It's not something you bring in law enforcement or you compel someone, to sign out. Hi.
Okay, so
let me see if I'm
I intentionally allowed you to listen to what he said because even EeZee reposted that particular video, and that's what I was saying from the beginning of this whole conversation. So the aspect of masters or the catalog of a song is really, really something that you don't see Apostle Anselm mention. So one thing as well is royalties. Has he paid the complete royalties? Don't tell us how much you have given her. At least now say Mr. Chin will get money. At least now say the music industry. You see, this person we have been talking about on my other platform, Timileyin, and the whole Salome issue. He was music artist 2020. He sang a whole EP album in Apple. It's all there on Apple Store. I listened to the song. Why no blow as independent artist? Why no blow? But today he butchers somebody, from gospel artist to the atheist, kind of like not believing in God vibes, to think about it. If Mercy Chinwo did not get the opportunity for her to be in a record label that put her on, invest in her. Let's look at this on both sides. EeZee T getting him own palaver. If he no pay him complete when he supposed to pay him based on agreement, in two don't mess up. Mercy Chinwo not completing the album that she signed that she was supposed to release so and so album, that is also its mess up. Everybody shall get their fault. So EeZee would try to also paint a picture of, and EeZee can't quote Bible. See, EeZee, if he that come before equity, you come with clean hands. If you paid her complete royalties and you still do pay her according to your agreement, which I think that contract was good, 50-50 is a wonderful one, then whatever she's doing, waiting she see, that one her own. But if you did not pay her complete as you are supposed to pay her, even to then that is something else entirely. Are you getting the point now? But let's listen here because this one is Judy K. Because Judy K and her husband were here. This was as at March 29, 2024. Remember, it was in May that they had that meeting with Judy K. But before then, this is the husband here. Judy K is here and some other people are here. I think as at this time as well, I think Mercy Chinwo is not here in this meeting. So this is about Judy K and he put it on record. So let's listen to what happened here because let me not talk. Let us try listen.
Issues of concern on the contract that you felt you should have brought to our notice, or maybe we didn't provide an opportunity, maybe you didn't have an opportunity to bring it forward, and this can be an opportunity for us to look at it, give clarity, where necessary, and then generally or holistically, would there be any discrepancies you want to move forward that you want us to address or deal with before we move into financials? Sorry?
Okay, she said none whatsoever. Even pastor is there. The husband is there. Nothing. She said there's no discrepancy, nothing. You get. So maybe as at this time, she wasn't really having any because it was January, February, March, April, May. 2 months later, they were having meeting about royalties. Do you understand? So maybe at this time, there could be some circumstances around this whole situation here. But let me check something because I need to check when they had those meetings. I need to check something about the meeting because this was March 29, 2024 in the morning. And the time they had the meeting in around May with Apostle Anselm, Judy K was also there in discussing the whole royalty situation. So that's what I want to look at and see if the first meeting they had, if Judy K was there. That's what I want to check now because other mama. The first meeting as well here was let me just read it to remind myself. Okay. So in 2022, I became aware of the growing dispute between Mercy Chinwo and Ezekiel, thank God. Okay. Determined to foster peace, I invited both parties to my home. So the first meeting that happened in 2022 was between Mercy Chinwo and EeZee, Ezekiel, and then Apostle Anselm with Choma Jesus there. And then the second meeting in 2023 was between the firm was between Mercy Chinwo, the pastor, Ezekiel's pastor, and then Ape Harrison. So the second meeting that they had as well in 2023 was without Judy K. So that means as well here between 2022 and 2023, Judy K was not having any issue apparently as well with respect to her situation, that with respect to her deal with the record label, and she was not here. Or I would say that maybe there was an issue, but since Anselm, Apostle Anselm as well is not her father, she wouldn't be there. But come on, if we look at here in 2024, by 2024, the unresolved matter had escalated to the Economic Financial Commission, and now is where we get to see Judy K. So the presence as well here, just to read again, Ezekiel, realizing the gravity of the situation, approached me once again, pleading for my intervention. He admitted his previous mistakes and requested that Mercy and Judy K withdraw the cases from the EFCC. So at this point as well here, as at 2024, Judy K had gone to the EFCC as well with Mercy Chinwo tag team. Okay, but prior to this particular time, there was no issue. So at this time as well, him taking this record, maybe he must have sensed something that there might have been a situation, because he and Mercy Chinwo have been having issues since 2022. So if Mercy Chinwo, you know how these music artists themselves do, they talk among each other, they collaborate with each other, so they know how far. I'm just surprised why Minister GUC is not caught up in this whole menace or something. Man to man, men understand, I guess. You get. So let's go on here.
You can't say none whatsoever. Every system run by man will have its. You can't say here that EeZee Conceptz has run perfectly and optimally to your expectation and to all that you desired. You don't have any what?
Any discrepancy to air.
So how can you not have discrepancy to her as at March, but 2 months later as well, he's already at the EFCC as well with respect to your royalties? Because you saying this as well here can it be used against her? I don't know. But again as well, some people were saying in the comment that recording someone against their consent is not okay. They knew they were recorded, and the husband himself gets to rectify that here, of course, in the video. So let's go on.
For the past 4 years, you've not had any issue. There's not been any contractual discrepancy. You feel like there's a part of the contract that is the devil. Maybe whilst you signed, you didn't notice that you were signing your liver, your kidney. Because some contracts right now, when you sign, you automatically initiated. So it might not even be financial issues. It might be demonic issues. It might be issues of cultism. And maybe somehow EeZee just portrayed a lot of kingdom and Jesus stuff. We got into it and we are like that.
Because this is what it looks like, what Mercy Chinwo was presenting in her song that was telling her story. Let's go on.
Affiliated to one thing. Yeah, so we need to be sure. Sincerely, we need to be sure so that we can deal with them. Or maybe apologize for some of those areas. And then go forward.
Again, I have nothing. Sorry, okay?
That being said,
thank God it's on record.
Thank God it's on record. The husband is the one saying. So this was not without anyone's consent. It was not like secret recording. It was on record. They knew what they were saying. So this is what the husband is saying. Let's go on.
If we had concerns as to these computations, then we'll come with, let's go through everything. But we don't have concerns. And we don't have concerns is not coming from sentiments. These are not sentimental statements. So we're saying
were there issues of
okay, so this is what he posted. Remember, like I always say, facts over sentiment. So they don't have consent, it's not coming from sentiment, it's coming from facts. So maybe they have been shown, he said, computations, money, egone, split sheet, all those things. They have seen and say we are okay. When I don't carry and go EFCC. I saw the document, of course, the Pearson's and something report. At least what would make it for them to accept it is that it was they themselves that were presenting the records or computations to them. So it's one thing to say, look at this. It's one thing to say, maybe we earned this amount on YouTube, this amount on YouTube. You show the amount you have earned on different platforms and say, okay, this is your cut, this is my cut. It's clear? You say it clear. But what if the amounts that were shown were not the accurate amount that is portrayed to be the earning? Then that's where the situation comes in. So this, when auditors get to come in, they also want to look at the documents, the accounts, to see from source where the computations are coming from, to see if everything is okay. Because your account can balance, but the auditor can come and see some loopholes in the account that is balancing to be like, this amount is, some zeros are missing. This amount, let's look at the source information for this particular figure. Let's try to look at the source information where this particular figure is coming from in the account. So maybe they look at the source information and see that the figures are different. That means the actual figure is deflated before sharing. That's what I'm thinking might have been the situation for them to say that, okay, there's still some money is being owed. But notice that when it comes to Judy K, her question or conversation is not about the catalog, but the catalog issue is being discussed about Mercy Chinwo. Did you learn anything from this whole conversation? At least one thing you can learn here is that EeZee Conceptz is not acting in due process. He might have been very dishonest. Mercy Chinwo has not really fulfilled or did not fulfill her part of the contract with respect to the album she's supposed to deliver. But even at that as well, the EeZee Conceptz didn't mind. Okay, no problem. Let's settle. Go your way. But Mercy Chinwo wants to own, according to what he's saying, wants to own the masters of a song, which by normal circumstance, go and check. It's either you have to buy it back, but normally it belongs to the record label. If they want to sell it as well, they can sell it to you. They can sell it to any person who wants to also buy the masters. That's one thing you have to know, okay? Because the masters itself is like real estate on its own. I'm telling you, 10 years, 20 years from now as well, that song could still make money for the label. That's why it's called a record label. If you can do it like an independent artist, do it. But when you need a record label, if you're in a good record label, like you saw the recent issue between Spyro and then Polo, where Spyro was saying that Polo does not even know, the dealings of record label. That's why he didn't blow or something over there or something. Record labels hold a huge responsibility in making sure to see that their investments become something fruitful for them. If not, they will not decide to invest in you because they're supposed to reap from the investment they're putting in you. Why do you do investment? You invest because you want to get returns, not just for the now, but perpetually into the future. So when it comes into the music scene, people like you see like Don Jazzy, and do you think those ones can ever lack money or something? They have catalogs that is money on its own. So remember, so what I want to ask right now is that, does Mrs. Chinwo own her publishing? Because we have two copyrights, the catalog, the masters, and also the publishing. You can sell your publishing. If the publishing and the masters belong to the record label, then that's a different conversation entirely. But I hope what I've said here, or discussing a little bit about the music business, I hope it does make sense. Till I see you next time, it's been a long one. Please insult me with care, and if I insult you back, no vex. Na woto to woto. See you next time, and God bless you.